Well, hello, my friend. My name is Joe Bakhmutsky. I am the founder of Power to Be Happy, and also I'm the author of this book, Finding Hope in Times of Uncertainty, a guide to thriving in a challenging world of today. So listen, let's talk right now about what you can do with your day when things really don't go your way. And I know that really happens sometimes for us. I know that's happened to me several times this week, when it just really just makes life so tough and you get just so worried and just on edge and you don't really know what to do with yourself. And then you start doing other things and you make things even worse, right? Because nothing goes your way. I really believe that when you are experiencing this feeling of being tense and just like on edge, it's kind of a sign that you're dealing with this situation. I know that sounds weird because it probably doesn't really feel like that. But it's kind of like what your body does when you're sick, like when you have a cold, for example. You might be having a fever. You might be kind of having the shakes, and you might be having all these symptoms, right? Like a runny nose or whatever. And that is a sign of your body dealing with it, right? It's trying to fight the infection, whatever is going on. And I think the same thing is true here. I think the same is absolutely true for when you're dealing with like just a really day that's just gone out of control, that's just been tough and just really threw you out, and things are difficult and you find it challenging to just know what to do with yourself, and it's like overwhelming. So this is what I want to share with you right now, is an exercise to kind of really to feel more grounded and to really kind of just be able to let go of this worry, this situation that might be really bothering you right now. So you can really kind of just get a clear head, right? And this exercise is called the open view, right? It's called the open view. And I want to talk you right through it. I'd love for you to imagine that there is whatever is worrying you right now. I'd like for you to get a deep breath, first of all. I think it's really important, right? Because we get so tense and get frazzled up and our breathing goes all out of whack. So I'd like for you to take a deep breath and think of the situation, the worry that you have, or something that's really bothering you right now. I'd like for you to think of what that is, and I'd like for you to imagine it as an object, as something that you can really hold in your hands, right? I like to imagine that might be like a ball of fire. It might be like a glass vase. I don't know what that is for. Just I'd like for you to imagine it as something, as an object that could kind of fit in your hands. I'd like for you to imagine it's not important what specifically that is. Just something that comes to you, something that feels like an object that would really be substitute for this type of worry, what it really means to you. I want you to think about it as something you could hold in your hands. So hopefully now you might have an image of what that might look like to you. And now imagine that it's kind of falling from the top and you catch it and you hold it right now. You hold it kind of in your hands, right? It's falling down and now you're holding it in your hands. And now as you're holding it, you also keep breathing, right? You take a deep breath that goes into your tummy, and now you're breathing, so you keep breathing, and now you think, I would like to ask you to think of what you want to change it to. Imagine that you have the power to change this thing. You can hold it now in your hands. And what we're going to change it to help us with trying changing it. I'd love for you to think of a happy memory, something that you like, something that felt good, something that may have happened this week, something that maybe happened last month, something that may have happened, a few years ago, whatever that is for you. Think of a happy memory, what that looks like, and hopefully you had the chance to just remember something. It doesn't have to be a huge thing. Just a happy memory, a time when you felt good about yourself, a time when you had fun, a time when maybe you had a smile on your face. And now I'd love for you to think of something, an object that kind of represents that. Again, something that you could hold in your hands. I'd love for you to think of what that could be for you. And it doesn't matter what that is, as long as it's just something that represents a happier time. Something that represents you kind of feeling good about yourself. And something you could hold again in your hands. And now, hopefully you have something. It could be a bird, could be a pile of sand. I don't know what that is for you. But hopefully you've got something. And now you had this other object in your hand that represented your worry and stress. And now you're going to change it. Imagine that you got it in your hands and you had whatever that stress, that worry was, you're going to now change it. And you're going to change. You have the power. You have the power to change it. And now we're just going to imagine that, go through the process of you imagine that you've turned this thing, whatever you had in your hands, and you've turned it into your happy object. You turned it and you're holding it now in your hands. Right? You've transformed it. You've given it a different shape. And now you're holding it in your hands in front of you. And now I'd like for you to imagine that you release this. You let it go. Maybe you throw it out, but you let it go and you release it out into the world. I'd love for you to let it go. This object that you had, this worry, you changed it around. You transformed it into another happier thing that you held in your hands. And now you've let it go. You've let it go out into the world. Take a deep breath, please, if you can. All the way to your tummy. And breathe out. How does it feel? Does it feel better? Does it feel like you've let go of something, even if it's a little bit? I hope that it has helped you to let it go somewhat. And that is what's so crucial about our worries and challenges that we have, is to really to be able to not hold on to them, but to let them go, especially when sometimes it's something that is really beyond your control, especially when it's something that you really cannot influence in any way. So I hope this has served you. I hope it now has helped you to have a more open view, that you now can move forward in your life with this day, and you've been able to set it aside. And maybe now you can do something that you like, something you maybe rest up, because that's important, right? If we talk about this idea of being kind of sick, you kind of want to be able to rest up so that you can then have more energy and find this other energy to do what you want to do in your life the most. My name is Joe Bakhmutsky. Thank you so much for being here with me. I'll see you soon.